Hey, we're trying something new today, checking out the couch over here. So, welcome everybody. Thrilled to see you. Whether it's your first time, we see a couple of new people on. So, Tina, Rachel, welcome. Or if it's your like 500th time, Sarah. So, this is amazing to see all of you here. So, we've been doing this show really for, gosh, I guess it's the last year and a half going on, something like that. We started after Unleash the Power Within back in 2024, if you could believe that, because we had this amazing moment during a Dickens process with Tony Robbins where I had like a wake up call that we weren't really living the mission that we were sent here for, is to be able to share with people these painful lessons that we learned in relationship so that they don't have to go through that same experience. And whether that's trying to repair a relationship, or maybe it's that we're single and we have been for a long time, or maybe we're going through a divorce and we're concerned about the impact on kids and impact on other people, or just the impact on ourselves. Wherever we're at in relationship, our purpose here is to give us some tools on how to work through that. So that's really what this show is all about. We play this really fun game, right, Sarah? This fun game, right? And Rhonda. So we do this fun game where we get to resolve a pretend conflict, right? We're going to make something up. We got the wheel of conflict that we'll play. You'll show us how you resolve conflict right now without any knowledge, just like, here's how I do it. And you'll get some feedback on what worked and what didn't, what was great, what could be even better. Get a little score. We'll give you a system so you can try something different, right? We're not saying our system's perfect. We're just saying that it's worked for us and it's worked for a bunch of people that we've shared it with. And we'd love to share it with as many people as possible because we happen to believe that when we resolve conflict, our relationships can thrive. And when our relationships thrive, everything thrives. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We have a very special guest that's going to be on today that's going to get a little mic time. Her name is Tina, and we're going to introduce her. So, Annie, take it over.
Yeah, hi Tina. Good to see you here. Probably gonna have you do the spotlighting. I don't know if this will do. But okay, so everyone, most of you know Tina, and just a little bit of an introduction for those of you that are watching later. Tina has had a very, very successful corporate career, very huge in the Tony Robbins community, and now she's made a transition to breathwork after a life transforming experience, which hopefully she'll tell us a little bit more about. But what I think is extraordinary is if you've witnessed her relationship with her husband, Chris, who has just pursued his passion of becoming a commercial pilot. He is actually in pilot school right now, pursuing his dreams. Just their relationship has been extraordinary to witness. They've been married for over 10 years, right? Tina, is that right?
It'll
Over
be
10
10 years
years?
this year. Yeah.
Wow. And then between them, a blended family with 9 kids and 2 grandchildren. Congratulations. And then I feel like they really walk the talk, when they talk about how their relationship is. And we talk about conflict resolution a lot here. And so we got to witness the interaction between Tina and Chris, and they're very loving, very compassionate towards each other. And I think that has been a huge factor in just seeing the both of you chase your own dreams, even in this chapter of your life when people are kind of settling down, but you guys are still at it, and it's so refreshing to see.
I got to jump in there too, because
Yeah.
I think Annie just nailed something so important. It's about the compassion
Mhm.
that you and Chris show to each other. And so we have this belief, and we've shared it with a few people about what it takes to get into different stages, different seasons of our relationship. And during spring, what we witness is it's really about learning commitment,
Mm.
right? And saying, I've got to go all in because we won't know if this is the person until we commit. And then once we do that, we go right into summer, right? So then we start challenging the commitment we just made. That's God's wisdom, right? Oh, you're committed? Let's see if that's true. And in this stage, it's about learning compassion for ourselves first, and then for our partner. And then once we can achieve that, we can have compassion for everyone else around us.
Mm.
And that's what really leads us into fall. And what we witness from you and Chris is that's the stage you're in. And now you get this, new challenge with a career change. And so now it's a we
Yes.
problem that you're getting to resolve, right? And figuring out what that looks like. And so it's glorious to get to watch that. So Tina, thank you so much for being on here
Yes.
and letting us witness that.
Fun fact, there's also the philanthropy side. So Rhonda, you might be interested to know that she's the director of the Hug Foundation. So she spent 2 weeks in Kenya helping the youth over there, and that's been a huge passion of her and Chris. So really exciting to see how, this passion that you guys have together are rippling outwards to literally the world.
You guys had something in common about school or something too, right?
To Wharton, not together, but Tina's a graduate from Wharton. That was the first thing that we bonded over. And so of course I'm biased. I think she's amazing.
So she's a woman of many, many, many talents. And also are you a senior leader now within the TR world? Yep.
Yep.
So she's also a senior leader for Tony Robbins. So she's done incredible work there, also a platinum partner. So we're thrilled to have you here, Tina. So with all of that, now we've taken up all of these like other facts. Tell us like one fun fact that we don't know about you.
Hmm. Interesting. What don't you know? I'm an open book, John. Um, the first one that comes to mind is that I went into the army when I was going into college, and it really made no sense. I wasn't like physically fit. I didn't really have a lot of thought behind it. I know that sounds crazy, but it was a way for me to show my love for the country. And I know that just sounds crazy, but it worked with ROTC, and I really had to push myself through stuff that I was not prepared for. It was funny because it started because I had a boyfriend in my first year of college who went into the army, and we were going to get married, and everything was going to be this beautiful experience. And about 4 months in, after he finished basic, he was like, I don't want to keep the relationship going. And what really stuck with me was he would write me these letters when it was still going on, and it was talking about how hard the military was. And it was kind of like this way that I had to just prove to myself, I'm like, is it really that hard? Let me go see. And it wasn't that hard at all. So there's a fun fact you don't know about me. It ended
Wow,
up, I'm an
that,
officer in military intelligence. So
wait, oh, okay. So you buried the entire fun fact. So she drops it at the end. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm an officer in military intelligence. That is amazing. So you have pushed yourself in so many different ways with military intelligence, graduating from Wharton. Like you have all these amazing things you're doing. You're now director at Hug, and you're helping these children across the world learn about leadership.
mhm.
It's amazing. And today we get to see you and witness you showing us, maybe even teaching us, like maybe there's something we can learn here. Maybe all of us could learn something just from witnessing Tina resolving a conflict. So, Tina, are you ready for the game?
I am ready for the game.
All right, that's outstanding. So, here's what we're going to do. We got a little wheel here, and we're going to pull this up on the screen because we're going to pick somebody for you to work with at complete random choice here on who you're going to work with. Okay. So pull up the wheel.
And so generally, because of the dynamics of the show, we really have you work with someone of the opposite gender,
Yeah.
really to see how men and women communicate differently, because that's a core issue that people struggle with. And so today you have
You have choices. So you're going to be
choices.
working with men, and that's not the host. So this is what the wheel looks like.
So who's ready to spin the wheel? Tina, I'm going to have you take a big swing, and we're going to spin this wheel of absolute randomness.
Okay.
And it appears to land on.
Wow, what are the odds?
Oh, no, it didn't stop. It's amazing.
It's the wheel, and it's
This time.
Shawn. Amazing. What are the odds?
That's awesome.
All right. So quickly, I don't, and I, you know Shawn a little bit, but Shawn,
Yeah.
we did not get your introduction. So why don't you give us a quick introduction about what you're up to in the world?
Hi everyone. Yeah, I live in Southern California, and I what am I up to in the world? Wow, good question. That's a big one. How long do we have? No, I'm just kidding. Uh, I've got two kids, two girls that are super important to me, and I yeah. What else? I don't know. What other information do you guys want from me today?
Well, hold on. You just did something amazing when you went like, I don't know, to the East Coast for something that you're dealing with some kind
Yes.
of
Right.
pharmaceutical stuff.
You know,
What's that
Good
about?
point. Yeah, for work, I work for a biotech startup. I'm a scientist there, and I am starting to get involved more in the business side of the company. And I got to go to the East Coast to present data. There was a pretty wide audience there as far as there's investors, physicians, other scientists, and it's a little bit. I love presenting, so that part was easy. But like engaging with the investment side, that's a new part for me, and it's a little bit of a stretch. So I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and I like it a lot. It's been pretty cool. And just yesterday, I was talking to my boss, and we were talking because well, we've got some stuff happening at work, and he was telling me he's like, I really feel like maybe you're someone that's gonna make that transition to the business side, like all the things you're talking about, things you want to do next. He's like, let's figure that out. Let's make that happen. And I said, awesome. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
yes.
That's awesome. And Shawn, I remember that you have this really cool superpower that you had shared with us, that you access this like alter ego every so often. I'm just
Yes.
wondering if you could share with us what your alter ego is, just for a little bit of fun.
Sure. My alter ego is Lenny, otherwise known as Lenny Kravitz. And and yeah, so during the first Vegas experience that I had with Love Jam, that was my alter ego. I got to perform a few songs from him, and so now in different situations I can pull that energy, that mindset, as far as stepping out of my comfort zone. Is like, you know what, I've got this whole other side of me that's available that I can access. And so yeah, that's something I thought about before I was going to give my presentation. I just like got some of that Lenny Kravitz energy and brought that to my presentation.
Yeah, and you did such a great job. I remember seeing you on day one of Vegas, and then day three, and then now. And the evolution has been extraordinary, just seeing you and again witnessing this growth that really was unleashing
Unleashing
what
the
was really,
passion.
yes.
There's so much passion and freedom in everything that you do now. It's like we're just so happy to see you. Like, people say we're happy to see you, but like I am very happy when I see you because you have that energy of enthusiasm that is so refreshing.
Thank
And
you. Yeah.
and you know what you're creating with Sarah
Yes.
and your daughters is just also just so beautiful. Again, getting to watch all of this occur, kind of like sitting on the sidelines. I can't wait to read your book when the two of you write that together. So we'll put that into your next plan for next quarter. Write a book, 'cause it's really been a miracle. And it's great to hear that we have multiple families on today that have the experience of either currently creating or having created this blended family experience, because it shows what's possible. Because if we can create that type of experience while we're going through what is often the most difficult time of someone's life, of a divorce, and hopefully, no, I don't want anyone to have to go through that, but if we are, this is how to do it in a loving, beautiful way. So thank you for being that model. Tina, same to you. I know Rhonda has a similar experience. Dr. Brian going through a similar experience right now, and he just took like a trip to Legoland with his kid's mom. So there's so much love in this room. So thank you for being that stand,
Yes.
Shawn and Tina. So with that, I'm
Let the games
let the games
begin.
begin. I love it. All right, you ready to pull up the wheel of, what do you call it? The wheel of
The wheel
fun?
random.
The wheel of randomness. So the
Okay.
random conflicts. Here we go.
Every week we pick a silly conflict, and there's really three to choose from today. The pillow identity crisis, we'll tell you more about that. The blanket tug of war, or the movie watching betrayal. And Tina, This is your second shot at spinning the wheel of random. Pick a really, really big one, okay? And she spins. Seems like you're doing the movie, watching Betrayal.
So here's how this works. This is always after the fact. So the conflict has happened. You're already bothered by it. Movie's over, and now you want to talk about what has already happened. We're not trying to fix it in the middle of it right now. And the reason we do this is because we often don't resolve it in the moment and we let these things fester. So we're going to resolve it right after the fact. And with that, Annie,
Here's the
tell us.
situation. Here's the situation. You guys start a movie together. It was like something that Tina, you've been waiting to watch for the longest time. You've been planning for it. You're so excited. And you guys agreed it's your show, right? You guys do it together. Every season you watch it new. And then as you go through the movie, you realize, oh my gosh, Shawn has already watched 3 episodes of this before you guys even started. And so the feelings of betrayal sink in.
I'm feeling like this is like directed at me right now. But go ahead.
There's feelings of betrayal, stories about truth or lies. Like, have you been lying to me this entire time? And it just unravels a whole stack of things that have come up. And
There's only
now,
3 episodes, babe.
and now Shawn is on trial for lying. So, Tina, any questions about the situation?
No, I think I've got it.
Okay, so we're going to give you 3 minutes to resolve the conflict. That's all you got. And we know it can be done, and you'll get some feedback right afterwards. That way it's immediate. And by the way, team, everyone who gives feedback, it is what was great, what could be even better, and the score. And we do that intentionally so that Tina can hear the score and then look for what I can improve on this very next round, because she gets to do the same thing twice.
Okay.
All right, we ready on the timer?
Yep. And 3 minutes. Ready.
Set.
Action.
Shawn, I want to talk about how I felt when I realized that you had already watched that part of the shows, that, that's our thing. That's what we do together. So I'm not really good with conflict, but I'm going to tell you because it matters to me right now that that hurt, because I felt like I was betrayed. I felt like I didn't matter. Like the thing that we like to do together is not important.
Yeah, you're totally right. I know it's our thing, and I don't know what to say. I guess I wanted to be more prepared for when we watched it together. Because you're so quick and you catch all the little things that happen in it, and I feel lost a lot of times. And I didn't know, and I kind of thought, I want to watch one to kind of just know what's happening, and it was really good, and I couldn't stop. So I kind of watched, I think, at least 3 or 4. I shouldn't even watch one. I'm really sorry. You're right.
What do you think we could do in the future to not have this be a thing? So like, I'm concerned that you feel like I would judge you because you didn't understand part of the show. Like that's something we could talk about and go closer together.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think one thing we could do is, I know sometimes I have questions in the middle of the show, and like it just, can we pause it sometimes maybe, and I could ask what's happening, or like why the character's doing what they're doing, and
Yeah, I would love
why
that because I love to talk. So that would be perfect.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and the other thing is, I noticed we watch it kind of late, and sometimes fall asleep in the middle of the show. Like I love the show, but as soon as I sit down on the couch and the room gets dark, and then you know we're in it, and then my eyes get really heavy, and I start thinking like I'm watching it still, like I'm picturing it in my mind, but I know I'm not really watching it, so it gets really confused because I'm like, was that the show, or was that I was dreaming that? Like what happened? And so I thought maybe I would watch a little bit just so I knew exactly what's going on.
Mm. Well, thanks for sharing that little last bit. Yeah, we can definitely, do the dishes early after dinner and be able to jump right into the movie right away.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I can only imagine that me falling asleep during the show might also be upsetting as well.
Yeah, but then I just snuggle up next to you and it's okay.
All right, give it up for Tina and Shawn. Fantastic. So, Tina, how was that for you?
That was fine.
What was great?
What was great for
Um,
you?
I thought it was good that Shawn could explain what his thinking was and why he felt like he had to watch it early.
Outstanding. Do you feel resolved?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of. Like mostly is what I'm kind of sensing from you. Is
Yeah,
that
like
what's missing for you?
um well, in all honesty, like the TV thing's not that important to me. So I'm always like, what's the underneath? Like, where else is it showing up in life? It's showing up as TV right now, but it's probably something bigger. Like, why can we not share more about what's going on inside?
Mm,
Oh,
very
that's great.
interesting. So, Shawn, what
Yes.
was great? What could be even better? And then a score.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I thought what was great was the way Tina approached the problem. Um, she was very uh just very calm and laid out the points like, hey, you watch the show, like what what's happening here. And so I thought it felt very I guess I would say easy. Like the conversation was easy. But I guess the one part that I would say what could be better, uh, in the same vein of being very calm, like I also didn't get a good sense of like how important this was to her. Like, was it just like, oh, you watched it, not a big deal, but I wish you wouldn't, or like, hey, that really hurt me. Like, I feel really, strongly about this, and so I was trying to gauge like how serious this was. Like, was it a big deal or not a big deal?
Great feedback. And what's your score for Tina?
Tina, I'll give her. I thought she did awesome. Just that one little point to clarify. So I would start her. Yeah, like an 8. Like it was good.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
And I gotta say, you guys pretty much resolved the conflict within the first minute, and it was just playing out because the timer went on. So extraordinary job. We're gonna go to some of our participants for our judges. So let's see. Let's bring up Sarah. Sarah Castro. Hello. What
Morning.
was great? What could be better? And the score, please.
Hi, Tina. I
I
thought what you did great was you very quickly went into your heart and you really explained the story from your point of view and how you felt about it. You did go into, what was underneath. You're like, what I feel is, I think I heard you say, is that maybe this isn't as important. And I thought that moment was just like so connecting, and I could see Sean's eyes and his whole face like relaxing and like, oh gosh, like what did I do? And I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, really, really well done. What could be even better would just be maybe just the starting. It's like, hey, there's something happening, and like also I noticed Sean like, what did I do? So just the beginning. And I'm sure that they'll explain that. And yeah, I thought you did so well. I thought it was so cute to see both of you just like resolve it so quickly and then like, and what can we do next time? Like it was amazing. Yeah, I give you an 8 as well.
A 9. Wow. We've
8.
never had a 9 the
8.
first.
She said
Oh,
8.
an 8. An 8. Well, we also haven't had an 8 the first round
No,
before.
this is great. Yeah.
Excellent. Who do you want to bring up next?
Let's bring up Dr. B.
Dr. B. Great to see you,
I see
Dr.
Rhonda's
B.
out walking, so I'm not sure if she's available to give feedback, but if she gives us a thumbs up, we'll call her next.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay. First of all, you guys are too nice to each other. This is the first round. We got
All
to be
right.
at least someone has to be petulant, and I was just a little surprised. But I wanna do it. I'm gonna split it. So Tina, that was you were as calm as a cucumber, right there, just cool as a cucumber is what I'm gonna say. So that was really, it was mature. You came across as mature, calm, open, and I want to give you a 9 on that. Like it wasn't quite like telling him how that there was a frustrating point here. I think because you said like TV really isn't your thing, but even so, in the end, that the what was great was you were just so calm. What was missing was that I'm annoyed. Now, let's go to Shawn. Shawn, you got to be less nice, man. You can't be that nice. If anything, I would say so. Also a 9 because you did really everything great. It's like you've done too much of this to do it poorly. So there's that, and then accommodating. You were humble, and then yeah, sure, yeah, I'm going to explain a little bit, and I kind of fall asleep, and you could figure something out. You could say, hey, could we do this at a time that I'm not going to fall asleep? Either way, that's the one piece that I think 9s on both sides. Maybe a little bit more of, okay, yes, honey, I'll do that. A little more defined. Really great job to start.
Dr. Brian went above and beyond and started evaluating the actor too.
Yeah,
I love it.
it was so great.
Brian,
So
you
fab.
over-delivered. Good
Oh,
job.
man, again. Do less. You told me to do less. I didn't do less.
Great job. Great job. All right. Let's go for it, Annie. Let's give your feedback.
Say, Tina, you know, one of the things that we talked about many weeks is sometimes when the ladies come up and bring up their issue is kind of vague. But what I noticed with you is right away you addressed the issue and there was really no ambiguity that you were upset. It was just clear, it was direct. And I think Sarah actually gave the feedback. It was like, wow, like almost like it was surprising. And Shawn had an immediate shift in the emotion. So I thought that was very clear, and that was what was great. The other thing that I noticed, and this might lead into what could be even better, is the feedback that you had given yourself at the end. I thought was very interesting, which was that you were trying to dig deeper for the underlying layers of where else does this show. And it was interesting to me because as I was experiencing Shawn, I thought he was extremely open. Like he started volunteering details about how he was falling asleep and he had to watch it 3 or 4 times because he couldn't pick up all the details, and from my perspective I was like, wow, the man is actually being so um he's sharing so much, and it was, for me, it was like a very vulnerable share. So that feedback from you, Tina, caught me off guard, and it reminds me of a lot of ladies that I talk to that really try to dig at the problem, and then they feel like their man is not sharing enough, they're not emotionally connected. Now, I know this is a ridiculous situation, but that's what it brought up for me. So I think what could be even better, and I think this would work differently depending on who you're talking to, is I don't know if this is true. I felt if I was in the situation, I would have been like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Because it felt like I screwed up, So I think that would just be the room for improvement is maybe a little bit of a pre-frame in the beginning to say, I just want to share how I feel, which you did very well. And this is actually not on you. And I just wanted to share how I feel, but whatever, like kind of a pre-frame
Yes.
to introduce the situation. I would give you a 9 actually, because it seems like you felt resolved and the situation was very easy. Like it seems like a non-issue, you know.
Yeah,
What would you
I,
say?
I, I align with that. So, Tina, what worked incredibly well for me was your energy. It didn't feel like it was an attacking energy. It was like, hey,
So
this thing
calm.
happened and it's really kind of bugging me. I want to talk about that, just so you know what's going on for me. And that was, I thought, a really good pre-frame for the discussion. And what I noticed with Shawn is, and this is a pretend scenario, but his like energy kind of like dropped into match your energy of calmness. His tension, like, because it's still, even though it's a pretend fight, there can be some tension. Like, okay, this is someone I haven't done this with yet. I don't know if you felt that, Shawn, but I was actually witnessed your shoulders drop just a tad the way her energy came in. So that was awesome. What could be even better is what you actually brought up, Tina, is it's not the actual situation that bugs us. It's what is underlying the situation that's really bugging us. It's what is the story that's being created as a result of this thing happening yet again. And maybe it wasn't really about the TV, maybe it was about the laundry that was left in the washing machine. And by the way, it's not really about that. It's about the bed not being made. And it's really not about that. It's that I don't think that I matter and I feel like I have to do everything. And this is yet another thing that you went and did your own thing without me. Or whatever's underlying the situation and surfacing that so we can actually resolve the bigger issue. And that to me is the beauty of practicing what we're doing here. And I too, I would actually give you I'd give you a 9 because of just the energy is what matters so much coming into the conversation. So fantastic job. And for those of you, and Rachel, thank you for coming on screen. One of the big reasons why we practice conflict in this way and why we do this show every single week and why people come on for over a year like Sarah is because when we practice this skill over and over, we're no longer responding or reacting as if a conflict is a threat. It's just now an event. And so our nervous system is kind of chilled out. And we purposely pick fun things like, let's fight over this TV show. And, Tina doesn't TV's not her thing, but we create that because now our system is getting used to saying, it's just a conversation. This is not a big deal. Practice it again and again and again. And you can do this with your partners. So Tina, if it's okay, I'd love to share with you a different structure that we can practice next time. Would that be okay?
Yep.
Awesome. So we have a few steps. It's 6, but I'm going to say 5 because what we came up with is a pre-frame. The pre-frame is what leads the entire discussion. You did a fantastic job with that. And what that might sound like is something like, hey, Shawn, you may have noticed, last night after the TV show that my energy was a bit off. And I just want to share with you what was going on for me. I'm not really asking for you to change anything. I just want to really just empty out these feelings so we can have if you want to have a discussion, we can, but I don't want you to think that you did anything wrong. Would it be okay if we just talk through what was bugging me? Right? And so immediately the pre-frame is, you're safe, we're safe. There's no reason for your amygdala to start pumping in a bunch of adrenaline and get ready to hide, flee, or fight. So we're chill. Awesome. Now we get into step 1, and we just simply say what occurred. That's all. Here's the experience. And though it's a little bit like therapy language, we intentionally do it this way we do I statements only, and that might sound like in this case, or even last night we were watching a show and I noticed that the next 3 episodes had already been watched. Right? That's the facts. We actually don't know who watched it.
Yes.
We just know that it was watched. And so we say that in that way intentionally because now, again, we're not firing off our partner's amygdala. We're not even firing off ours. We're just saying this is what happened. And in the moment when I noticed that, I'm being responsible for it, I felt a little bit mad, sad, and scared. So we just say the feelings very simply. Because I was making up a story that there was something being hidden from me. And that kind of expanded that story. I started thinking that maybe I didn't matter. And I know that's not true. And immediately go to this, and I know that's not true. Because again, we're going to get back into relationship when we're engaging our prefrontal cortex to go talk to this memory. And now what we're doing is our prefrontal cortex is asking that part of the brain that was making up a story to go find information that proves that it's not true. So it's like, what do we call it? The reticular activating system now, right? It's going back into the brain and saying, oh, Tina wants to know why that's not true. And so it finds new memories. And I know that's not true because, actually you do so many things. You tell me everything, sometimes too much or whatever that is. And And you know what? All I really want, and this is how I experience it, because I will say literally, what do I really want? After I've gone through the system, it tends to be, actually, I don't really want anything. I just wanted to be able to share this with you. But if I do want something and be, what I'd really appreciate and really want is to be able to watch this for the first time with you. And sweetie, even if you fall asleep, I don't really care. I just want the time because it's about the time with you, not about the show. And would that work for you? And so now we can go through these conflicts, and they're not even conflicts. We're just having a brief conversation. So, Tina, I'm just curious, how does that model resonate with you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Something that I picked up is we talk a lot about the masculine and feminine and how control and criticism and coaching, quote, coaching is such a big thing. And reflecting on it, sometimes I hear the conversation and I'm like, well, that's not criticism. I'm just sharing how I feel. But the receiving party might perceive it as coaching. And when I heard that, because you're owning so much of the responsibility of this is my experience and it's not really on you, it really sets up this pre-frame of like even though it was the same message, it didn't seem like criticism, even if I was being super picky about the language. It's very amazing to watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you do it all the time. And then for us men, when we're going through this, what I would suggest is just be present. That's it. It's hear it, feel it, and it's amazing how little effort it takes. I mean, I like to say it's effortless. It's actually so much easier just be present than try to solve the problem because it's not about the problem, right? Tina's not really looking for the episodes not to be watched. There's something underneath it that she's really just wanting to express. Here's what's going on for me more often than not. Tina, is that also your experience that more often than not it's just wanting to be heard?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so maybe the key in these conflicts, because we always want this like connection with our partner, is resolving the conflict is really about the underlying thing of figuring out what is that, not trying to mitigate every single specific situation, because the content will change, but the context is really what matters.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like we're playing pitch and catch to a degree, right? And this is really in every relationship. It's not a man-woman thing, masculine, feminine even. I'd say it's true for everyone.
Yeah.
Make sure they're heard. And so a great response, which we haven't really addressed in the past, is, I want a solution to this. Well, first off, sweetie, it sounds like that kind of sucked for you. It sounds a little bit frustrating. I'm just curious, what what else is going on? I want to make sure that I understand what this is really about because I'm sensing it's not about the TV show. Is there something else that we ought to be discussing? Because now we can go deeper and deeper and deeper into that conversation. So with that, Tina, we'd love to give you another shot if you're up for it. I mean, your score is already amazing,
I love it.
but this is about how do we get even better, and then also how do we model this for everyone else that's watching later. So if you're up for it, we'd love to give you now 2 minutes.
Yes.
All right.
And Shawn, you were extraordinary, and now we're going to introduce the receiver response. So perhaps for
Yeah,
size
and you
two.
can blame Dr. Brian for giving you a score. It's his fault.
So there you go. And we'll have 2 minutes this time. 3, 2, 1, action.
So we do the exact same scenario. I just want to make
Yep,
sure I understand.
that's right.
Okay. Hey, Shawn, I was wondering if we could take some time to talk about what happened when we were watching the movies.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to share that I am having some issues with stuff that came up for me. And it's nothing about you, but I just want to talk about it so that I understand myself a little bit more. So basically, I suspect that you watched the shows before because I saw that they had been seen. I mean, had they been viewed, and We Live Alone. So, hey, unless the dog is taking up our show, I'm thinking that probably you watched them beforehand. So, what I wanted to do was talk about how it made me feel, because I felt like there was a little bit of violation, or like my trust in you. This is our sacred time to watch shows together. And I just didn't feel like you were honoring that, and it hurt inside. So I just wanted to let you know that I need to know that our time that we spend together in all the things, not just watching movies, is important. And just, if you could reach out to me if there's an issue so that I can be working with you on it.
Yeah, no, thank you for telling me this. I guess, what I'm what I'm hearing you say is that you were disappointed and hurt that our thing, that our special sacred thing was violated, and I get how that would be would make you sad and hurt. That
All
was quick.
right. Yeah, it's quick, right?
Sorry.
No, you did a fantastic job, and we kind of ate up a few seconds in the front end. Here's the question. Tina, how did it feel for you, especially with Shawn's response, where he was saying, what I hear you saying? How was
Right.
that for you?
Well, it was good because I think that he came in very sincere, and like he cared, he leaned in, if you will, to hear, and then demonstrated that he'd been listening.
Outstanding. And how was the structure for you? It was brand new. I know that. And and so I saw you, I could like almost see your like wheels turning in your brain. Like, what was the next step?
Right.
So we'll send you something on that. But how was it for you as you're walking through the steps?
Yeah, it was a little formulaic, but it wasn't hard. Like you said, I was pulling it. I was like, okay, I know I'm supposed to say what I want, that kind of stuff. So it was good.
Excellent. And Shawn, how was that for you?
I thought it was awesome. I thought Tina did great. The one thing that was really interesting, I thought, was when Tina said, I want to learn something more about myself. And I thought that was so cool because that made me automatically almost want to be like, oh yeah, like, how can I help you learn more about yourself? And like it just like tore down any type of like defensiveness, like, oh, I need to defend this or that, or any. It's just like, okay, well, but how can we do this?
Yeah, that was outstanding feedback. That was what Annie picked up immediately as well. Uh, it was like, oh, you want me to help you. And instead of me being in trouble, I right now get to be your hero by helping you on something. Oh, this is fantastic. What a great opportunity instead of it's a fight. And to me, like those words, we ought to build that in. Like this is like what a great tip for everyone to take away that's watching
What's
this.
your final score, Shawn?
I give her a 10. Yeah,
A 10!
for sure.
That's the first time we got a 10.
All
Oh my
right.
gosh. Okay, so Rachel, we're coming to you next. First, we're going to go to Dr. Brian. And I pulled him up intentionally because he's the one
Yeah.
that started this whole thing.
And the way we do this on the second round is we're only going to hit what was great because what we're doing is we're really grinding in the system. So what was great, Dr. B?
What do you mean it's not my fault? Essentially, by saying you wanted to learn about yourself, that's just stuck out like really stuck, stuck out like a wonderful thumb. It was so great. I was like stuck. So that was something. It brightened everything. It brightened Shawn's face, and I was amazed. That's a 10.5 in my opinion. Especially
10.5.
yes,
Wow.
yeah, I can't. It doesn't go to 11 in this case. So,
Man.
but it really was amazing. And you said it was the first time you've been working with this, and I'm still having issues with it. So, really, great job. I think next week I want to make sure I'm on time so I can be doing one of these things. Shawn, fabulous. You were there. You were present. I watched your eyes. You stayed with it every minute and every second. So, well, there's only 2 minutes. So every one of those 2 minutes, and really, really great. Also a 10. Really great job.
Brilliant. And so, Rachel, we're coming to you.
Hi, sorry, I was trying to find my unmute button. So Tina, yes, I thought again, the whole learning about yourself thing really helped to sort of set the tone so it didn't feel like an attack. Because I think that, that seems to be a common issue that happens when you're having a conversation like this. And then just also explaining how important that activity was to you, I
Mhm.
think is also helpful because it makes them understand and appreciate that, like, that you really value that time and that they're important to you. So I thought that was great.
Thank
And
you,
then,
Rachel.
um, and then Shawn, yes, I just think, you just seem very calm and like concerned and interested and very present, and being able to repeat back what you heard to Tina, I think is brilliant, because then that makes her feel like she's being heard and seen. And so, really good job, both of you.
What's your score, Rachel?
Oh gosh, I would say 10s for both.
All
Wow.
right.
Holy cow.
By the way, welcome. We'd love to have you on next week too, if you
Yes.
if you can join us, and maybe we'll have you get on here with Dr. Brian and resolve a
Okay.
conflict. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right.
He's a riot, just a heads up.
Yeah, he is really funny with
Awesome.
these.
So I guess my feedback is let me
Yeah.
remove
Thank you,
it.
Rachel.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so brilliant. Like I also noticed there's a softening, almost like with the words we say and how we say it reframes our entire energy. And so in the first time I thought you were direct and it was really clear. And this time you were direct and clear, and there was an ownership that made the conversation, it was like it was a softening. I don't know how else to say it. And you can see the reaction for Shawn is like he wants to come in and help. And I think it's just a beautiful way to interact, even when we're feeling stressed, is you're able to bring in that side of you as well. And I think for Shawn, one thing that I noticed that was really brilliant, I actually caught like I saw your brain switch was when you were responding, you're like, I could say something and I'm choosing to reflect back what I'm hearing. And it was such a conscious shift. I don't know if that was what was happening in your head. I was almost expecting you to justify what you were doing, but you had that shift and it made all the difference. It wasn't even about what you were doing. Now you're with Tina, and it just, like, one of the hardest things that we hear is how do we be in their experience when we're the one being quote unquote attacked? And you did such a brilliant job being just with her.
Yeah, the first score.
I gotta give it a 10, pure pressure. Everyone else is a 10.
Well, so 10. All right. Well, maybe I'll be the Russian judge. We'll see. So for me, the first round, energetically, it was great. This was two people that were resolving something, kind of like two individuals, and having this conversation. Tina, because of the way you pre-framed right at the beginning, what I witnessed was a partnership from the first few words that were coming out. It was not, I'm trying to solve something with you, let's solve something together. And that was, to me, that's the miracle that was really presented here with how you did this, and say, I'm trying to learn more about me. So again, brilliant pre-frame. And then Shawn, for you, I had the same experience as Annie. I was noticing that, like, your brain was kind of firing, you're kind of looking up and around, almost like it was a search for a solution. And then you fell into, you know what, I'm just going to feed back what I heard. And then there was like a relaxation of, it's so much easier just to, here's what I'm hearing from you right now, right? Which is just presence. You just got re-present. It's not about me. It's about her right now. Let me make sure she's heard. It was in service. So both of you, I will not be the Russian judge today, so I will give you a 10. Fantastic job for both of you. So extraordinary. And of course, there's always room for improvement. We intentionally don't address this time because we want you to come back next time so you can get an 11. How about that, Tina? All right, fantastic. And by the way, Tina, we didn't really share much of this, but she also does breath work. And so if that's something that you're interested in, get in contact with her. And Tina, if you could, put your contact information in the chat so people can reach out to you. Breathwork is it's something that I'm just starting up myself because I have a heart rate variability issue. I tend to stay in what do they call that? Sympathetic, not parasympathetic, or whichever one it is. So I have a very low heart rate variability. And breathwork is one of the ways to get out of that, so that I can relax my body and not be in constant tension and stress. So if that's you, or you know somebody that has that, reach out to Tina. and see how she can help. And Tina, if I remember right, you'll have that first discussion free so you can see how you can help them, and if there is something there you can help them with. Is that right?
Yeah. And right now I'm doing like weekly group sessions. And so a lot of times I'll just give someone a coupon to experience it, because until you experience it, you have no idea. It's not like you're just stuck on the floor for 45 minutes and then you wake up and you're like, oh, that was nice. This is like coaching through the breath. So you're being brought into it, and usually there's a huge breakthrough at the end. It was a completely life-changing experience for me, and most of the people I'm serving are having that same experience. So
And I thought it was hokey the first time I heard about it, being right up front with you. And then my
Mhm.
kid's mom, Stephanie, went and did this breathwork class at this place here in Vegas. And she's like, yeah, and then I like just started crying for no, like I'm just breathing. And all of a sudden, and then there was this like giant release as I'm just breathing. And then she went back the next week and the next week and the next. So it now became something that she does. So I encourage everyone on this call, anyone watching this later, get in contact with Tina, at least get one experience so that you have the experience and you can make a decision from an educated point of view, an experiential point of view, not just, hey, here's what I read, right? Because just reading is not experiencing. Reading without experience is just entertainment. So go experience it now. And I also want to say thank you to everyone that came. Tina, again, thank you for being on the show, sharing with us. We hope to see you next week. Bring a friend.